I thought coming back here would be a good idea. Let's just say it wasn't. It's good for the body. It's good for the body, it's good for the mind, good for the soul, right? It's all about the adventure. Good morning. Well, the day is finally here. It's tournament morning. Got a good night's sleep. Super pumped. It might not come across at this point, but it's 5:36. It's a nice 40 degrees right now, and we have light rain, so thankful that it's not below freezing. Finally. I can deal with the rain. I got gear for that. I'm just excited to get on the water, you know, so I'm gonna stop at the gas station, put a little gas in the truck, pick up some snacks, and I'll pick you up in a little bit. All right, so check-in's done. We went over the rules, paid our money, got our identifiers. Now it's the match scramble to the second pond. And like I said in the video before, we had an option of 2. There's the primary where everyone was checking in, then they gave an option of a second. I wanted to fish the second because I felt like there would be less people. Looks like there's going to be a train of us rolling over there. I think everyone probably had the same idea I did. So, regardless, we're on our way. We're committed. We know what we want to do. I know where I want to be. So now we just got to put it in action and actually get it done. So stay with us. We'll come back here in a little bit once everything's unloaded and we're set up, and we'll go from there. All right, mid-morning update. So I paddled out to the rocks where I thought, I was pretty confident they would be, or at least something would be, and hooked into one. Caught him on the white chatterbait, brought him all the way to the boat, get him to the boat, go to reach down, pow. Then everyone's story. And then consequently, I acted like a little kid, threw my rods, grenaded a reel, spent the next 20 minutes trying to fix it on the water, then switched to another pole, which really wasn't designed to run that chatterbait, and it just... yeah, so I paddled by a couple guys, talked to them. They're not catching anything right now. No one's really on a pattern as far as I can tell. I'm going to keep fishing this chatterbait. I did get a couple bumps on the little finesse head, the little shaky head with the little 4-inch Yamamoto. That's what we caught him on a couple weeks ago, so maybe that's the ticket. The rain is on and off and on and off and on and off. So, who knows? I'm thinking this tournament's going to come down to 1 or 2 fish. So, losing that fish really bugged me out pretty bad. And I acted immaturely. So, but it happens. Sometimes our emotions get the best of us. So, this is real. I'm not going to lie about it. So, hang in there. Hopefully we'll figure something out. Everyone's fishing deep waters. I just paddled by. There's got to be 7 kayaks all in one little stretch of 5-foot water. And I mean, not that I rely on electronics, but looking at electronics, I don't know what that is they're looking for. But I get the deep water thing. But there's a kayaker that came out and hauled the beans, hauled the male to the back. So. Maybe there's something in the back that I don't know about. Goddamn fire whistle. But we're going to keep plugging away. It's 9 o'clock, so there's still plenty of time left to figure something out. But who knows? We'll check in a little bit later and I'll let you know where we're at. So it's about 10:30 at this point. I decided to paddle down this little creek. This little creek has some depth to it. 4 to 5 feet. I mean, that's the same depth everyone out there is fishing. And the water temperature is like 45. Here, I'll let you see a little bit of it. And I thought coming back here would be a good idea. Let's just say it wasn't. You know, the funniest moments probably for the camera are the moments that you really don't want to pull out the camera. But so yeah, so I decided to paddle back. Decided I was gonna get off the kayak for a minute and take a second just to gather my thoughts, use the bathroom, so on and so forth, maybe retie. Got off the kayak, ended up stepping in a silt, went up clear above my knees. I mean, I don't know if you can see now looking at everything, but the end result of that was I filled my boot with water. So yay me. Then I go to paddle out. All the rods get, you know, I mean, you can see them sticking up behind me. All get stuck in a tree. Da 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 da. Oh, it's just been one of those days. I've now had to cut my gloves twice because of treble hooks. Can you see that in that one? And there's a cut on this one. Oh, there it is. Where I've had to cut it because I've stuck a treble hook in my glove. Man, today is just not lining up to be my day. But I got a pretty long paddle back to the front where I did get that first bite, and I think at this point in time I'm just going to go up there, commit to it, and fish the next 2 or 3 hours up there and hopefully find something. Oh, by the way, I thought I lost the GoPro. That was awesome. It had slipped under my seat to a point where I couldn't reach it, so at least I didn't lose the GoPro. And as far as I can tell, I haven't broken anything yet. But what a day. What a day. I guess all the emotion from that fish this morning, I mean, coming out cranking it really from the start really set everything off. So I'll check back in, but this first tournament's not going well. The only good thing is, and I haven't seen anyone in probably an hour, the only good thing is everyone I've paddled by hasn't said they're on them. So who knows? We'll have to figure it out. Stay with us. I'm sure it's going to get more interesting as we go. Really should look and buy a pedal kayak. I let the wind push me all the way back. Use that to my advantage. Let it basically run me all the way down this creek, and now here I am. I'm like paddling my way back. No, it's good for the body. It's good for the body, it's good for the mind, good for the soul, right? It's all about the adventure. So we're in the last hour. Paddle back up to the rocks like we talked. Fish them for a while. I did catch huge perch. Picture right there. On my jerkbait. Nothing. So this last hour I'm going to ride it out with the little 4-inch Yamasenko on a jig head and my jerkbait. So at the end of the day, if all I do is catch perch, that's not so bad. But hopefully something else comes out of this. It's been a long day. I mean, you can see the deck of the boat. It's been one of those days. Like I always say, first trip out on a boat, first trip out on a kayak, first trip crabbing, first trip fishing, hunting. You know, you're really shaking down all your the way you do things and the way things are. So not so upset about it. And it ended up completely in the drink, so that's good. But who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and catch something on our paddle back up to the ramp. We got to be back at the check-in at 2:30. We're about 10 minutes away, and I still got to load the boat up. Oh Jesus, I can't hold this thing straight. I still got to load the boat up and everything. So that sun's probably right in this lens, no doubt. So, all right, let me see what I can come up with. So we're off the water. That plan didn't work. So it's gonna be a 0 day for Mr. Bill. Jesus. And I really thought, or at least I should say, I had a good feeling about today. But win some, you lose some, right? So heading back to check in now to let them know about my 0, and then see who took the top prize. So stay tuned. I'll do a recap or whatever as soon as we're done. All right, let's do this tournament shakedown. It's 3 days since the tournament. It's now Tuesday. The tournament was on Saturday. And the only really way I can think to break it down is the same way I'd have my teams that work with me at work to break down their whole process. So what went well, what didn't go well, and what are we going to change? So let's talk about what didn't go well. What didn't go well was I got really emotional and I let that eat me alive. Missing that first fish really just turned what was drive into aggression, and I started just junk fishing. And I didn't stick with the plan that I had. I should have fished it out and stayed with it instead of just throwing everything at the fish. So that didn't go well. Obviously, all jokes aside, probably should have not gotten off the kayak. That's pretty clear at this point, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. So that didn't go well. I took 5 poles, and 2 of them I don't think I ever touched. So I probably should hone that in a little bit more and not be so afraid to change baits. Let's talk about what did go well. So what did go well? 1, 2nd and 3rd place were won off the pond that I went to. So obviously I picked the right body of water. Number 1. Number 2, my plan worked. Absolutely worked. I was on that fish shortly after arriving to that pond. So what I thought was going to happen worked. I had tied on and fished what bait, and so I had a red rattle trap tied on, and that's what 2nd and 3rd caught their fish off of. I don't know what 1st caught his fish off of, but obviously my research led me in the right direction. So I'm confident in the back end work that I did before getting there. So that's good. Clearly had enough tackle. I could probably float in both categories, but I clearly had enough. And as far as filming goes, I feel like I captured the moment for the most part, and I did okay. I didn't get all of it, and I can change some of that and tweak that a little bit, maybe to make it a little bit more entertaining, but I feel like I caught the moment, so that's good. What are we going to change for next time? Well, we're not going to let emotion drive us in the wrong direction. It's okay to fish with emotion. It's okay to do that. But I'm not going to let it drive me to make poor decisions. On top of that, I'm going to continue to do my best at scouting and pre-fishing and trying to get better before arriving to those tournaments. And I'm going to try and hone that whole thing down. You know, take it from where it's at down to 2 baits or 3 baits. I would like to get on the water more before the tournament. So we have a month in between each tournament, so I would like to get on that water more before that tournament arrives. What else am I going to change? I'm going to spend more time on the kayak. I mean, I guess I probably should have talked about it earlier. And I think I mentioned that's the first time I paddled that kayak since last year. I probably should have taken it out, but to be honest, and it's 20 degrees outside, I have a hard time. You have a hard time convincing me to take that kayak out. I love being on my kayak, but when it's that cold out, I don't know. It's just something about being that cold and being near the water, that close to the water, and not having a big boat around you that really turns me off. But that's what we're going to change. We're going to not only pre-fish it in a big boat, because I'm not going to stop doing that, but we're going to pre-fish it in a kayak too, because it changes the dynamic so much. But that's what we're going into the next tournament with. It's probably exactly a month from today for the next tournament to prep. So we're going to go through the same process. Stick with us. I'm going to try and film it all my way through. Good thing the boat's ready. It's done. So I might change or tweak some things. To be honest with you, I'm probably looking for a new boat or a new yak at this point. Watching these guys in these pedal drives, I didn't think I'd ever get there, but watching these guys in these pedal drives really sets the standard, and sets the standard where we're going with it. So I might look to change here soon, but stick with us. We're going to keep filming. We're going to bring it to you as real as it can possibly be. Thanks again. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you all soon.